Welcome back to the deep dive. I want to start today by taking a bit of a pulse check on something that is, well, it's honestly a little painful to admit.
Uh-huh.
But I think every single person listening, and certainly the two of us here, has been through this specific cycle.
Let me guess. Is it the cycle of almost changing your life?
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. I'm talking about the high. You know the one I mean?
Oh, I know it well.
You've just finished a seminar, maybe a Tony Robbins event, or you just put down a book that completely rewired your brain for a second. You were walking down the street and you physically feel different. You feel electric.
Jen Sincero calls this being drunk with possibility.
Mm,
And it's a great description because it really is a chemical high.
it really is.
Your dopamine is firing, your prefrontal cortex is lighting up with plans. You aren't just thinking about starting that business or fixing your marriage. In that moment, it feels like it's already done.
Yes.
The gap between dream and reality,
Yes.
it just feels, well, non-existent.
Right. You are unstoppable. You're looking at your bank account and thinking temporary condition. You're looking
Yeah.
at your problems and thinking small potatoes. It's pure euphoria. But then
Then comes the Tuesday morning.
the crash. And it's not always a dramatic crash, is it? It's insidious.
It's fastidious.
Maybe it's 3 days later, you're back in your office, the fluorescent lights are humming, you get a parking ticket outside the coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
Your boss sends a passive-aggressive email about a spreadsheet. And suddenly, that version of you that was ready to conquer the world, I mean, where did they go?
They evaporated.
Yeah.
This is what we call the seminar hangover. And it's actually a really fascinating psychological phenomenon.
Okay, break that down for us. What's happening in the brain?
Well, the brain, at its core, prefers homeostasis. It likes safety. It likes what it knows.
So it likes the status quo.
It loves the status quo, that incredible high you felt. To your primitive brain, that's dangerous. It represents massive change, uncertainty, risk. So as soon as the external stimulus, the book, the speaker, the music fades, your subconscious pulls you back to baseline with a vengeance.
That's terrifying. So we are biologically wired to lose that motivation. It feels like a cruel joke from evolution.
It feels that way, but it's just biology.
Yeah.
And unless you have a maintenance plan, gravity wins every time. And that is exactly why we are diving into You Are a Badass Every Day by Jen Sincero today.
Right.
Because most self-help books, including her first massive hit, they're all about getting you to that high. They are the launch pad.
Okay.
This book is about orbit. It's about what you do on the Tuesday morning when it's raining and the high is gone.
Which is where we actually live our lives. We don't live on the launch pad.
Exactly. We live in orbit. And that distinction is crucial. If her first book, You Are a Badass, was the comprehensive how-to manual, the deep dive into the philosophy of changing your life.
This one is something different.
This book is the spiritual gym.
The spiritual gym. I love that metaphor.
Yeah.
Because I think that explains exactly why that seminar hangover happens. We treat personal development like a vaccination.
A one-and-done deal.
Exactly. Okay, I read the book. I'm cured. I never have to worry about self-doubt again.
Right. Imagine applying that logic to physical fitness. You go to the gym once, you have a monster workout. You lift heavy, you sweat, you drink the protein shake.
You feel amazing.
You feel amazing. You look in the mirror and say, great, I'm fit now. I never have to come back.
I mean, I have definitely tried that strategy. I can confirm it does not work.
It definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
Muscles don't stay strong by themselves. They atrophy.
Mhm.
If you stop the resistance, the muscle shrinks.
Right.
Sincero argues that your mindset, your motivation, your focus, your badassery works the exact same way. It is a muscle.
It's a muscle.
You can't have one epiphany and expect it to sustain you for a lifetime. Success isn't a destination you arrive at where you can just crack open a beer and stop trying. Success is a way of being that requires maintenance.
So if the first book was the lecture on physiology, this deep dive is going to be our actual workout session.
Precisely. Think of this deep dive as your personal trainer or your accountability partner. Our mission today is to extract the daily exercises, the mental push-ups that keep those muscles of badassery strong.
Okay.
We're going to look at the specific tools Sincero provides to keep you moving when the initial excitement fades and, real life kicks in.
I am ready to sweat. Let's get into part one, the foundations of this spiritual gem. And Sincero starts with a really powerful metaphor about creativity. She says, the world is the canvas.
This is one of my favorite concepts because it completely reframes responsibility.
How so?
She argues that if you are alive, you are creating. A lot of people say, oh, I'm not an artist, I'm not creative, I work in accounting.
Right, the classic, I can't even draw a stick figure line.
Exactly. But she says, no, your world is the canvas. Your thoughts and your words are the paint. Your actions are the strokes.
So even if I'm just creating a really boring commute or a grumpy interaction with a barista, that is still a creation. I'm the artist of that moment.
You are. You are the artist of your reality every single second. And here is the key insight she drives home with this. If you look at the painting of your life, you'll like it.
Maybe it's messy, maybe it's unhappy, maybe it's just beige and boring.
Right. Whatever it is, you can't just stand there and whine about the painting while continuing to use the same brushstrokes.
You can't keep using complaint blue and resentment red and expect a bright, sunny picture. But we do that, don't we?
Oh,
It's like complain about the result while repeating the exact same process.
Every day. And it's madness. If the painting isn't turning out, you have to change the approach. You have to change the paint. And that leads us to the quality of that paint, which is your confidence.
Now, she has this take on confidence that I found really relieving. Because usually we think of confidence as something we have to go out and get. Like it's an external badge or a skill we have to learn, like coding or driving.
Right, like it's something out there that you need to acquire.
Yeah.
No, she flips that completely. It's not about learning confidence, it's about uncovering it. It's a return to your factory settings.
Factory settings, I like that.
She uses the analogy of a baby. Think about a newborn.
Okay, thinking of a baby. Cute, drooling, not very productive.
True, but look at their mindset. Babies don't have self-doubt. They don't lay in the crib thinking, oh man, my thighs are too big, or I'm not smart enough to learn to walk, or what if the other babies judge me?
That's a very good point. They just exist.
They just think I am. They are pure potential.
I am. That's powerful. So I am screwed, or I'm awkward, or I'm not good enough. That all comes later.
Exactly. I am screwed is a learned behavior. It's social conditioning. It's the result of parents, teachers, society piling on layers and layers of doubt and rules and expectations.
So it's like junk that gets piled on top of this pure confidence we started with.
It's exactly like that. The goal of the spiritual gym is to unlearn those layers and get back to that pure, innate confidence. The confidence is always there. It's just buried under a pile of laundry and old receipts.
So we're basically trying to get back to being a baby, but with the driver's license and better motor skills.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
We want that innate, unquestioned self-acceptance. And the mechanism to do that brings us to the next principle, which is arguably the most important mechanic in the book. Repetition is reality.
This connects back to why we need to do this every day, right? The gym analogy.
Is the core of the gem analogy. Our brains are efficient. They are loop machines.
What do you mean by loop machines?
Whatever is on auto loop in your brain becomes your reality. If you're constantly telling yourself, I'm broke, or I'm tired, or relationships are hard, your brain literally looks for evidence to confirm that.
It's trying to prove you right.
It is. It's the reticular activating system at work. You see what you focus on. If you buy a red car, suddenly you see red cars everywhere. It's the same with your thoughts. Focus on lack. You see lack everywhere.
So how do we break the loop? Because it feels really hard to just stop thinking a thought. If I tell you, don't think of a pink elephant,
And
you're...
you're immediately thinking of a pink elephant.
Exactly.
Exactly. You can't just delete a thought. You have to replace it. Sincero offers a really actionable exercise called the turn it inside out method.
I love this one. Walk us through it.
Okay, so you take a favorite complaint, and we all have one that we treat like a pet. We feed it, we walk it, we tell our friends about it.
Mine is definitely about not having enough time. I'm so busy. It's my go-to response for everything.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
And it's a very popular one. So I don't have enough time creates a chemical feeling of stress and scarcity. Sincero says to immediately flip it to the most aggressive, almost absurd opposite.
Okay, so give me an example of a flip. Let's use money because that's a huge one for people. The thought, I can't afford it.
Perfect. So I can't afford it reinforces poverty consciousness. It shuts down possibilities. You turn it inside out to, money loves me so much it throws itself at me.
Money loves me so much it throws itself at me. I mean, come on. I say that and my brain immediately goes, liar. Check your bank balance. It feels delusional.
Of course it does. That's the friction. That means it's working. But here's why it works. You aren't necessarily trying to convince yourself in that split second that you are a millionaire.
So what's the point then?
You are interrupting the pattern. You are forcing your brain to process a new syntax, a new possibility. You are jolting the system. It's pure pattern interruption.
So it's less about magic and more about cognitive dissonance, just shaking things up.
Precisely. If you keep saying, I can't afford it, you stop looking for solutions. Your brain shuts down. If you say, money throws itself at me, your brain momentarily goes, wait, what? And it opens up a tiny crack of possibility. It changes your vibration from closed to open.
Okay, that makes more sense. Give me another one. What about jobs? A lot of people hate their jobs.
The standard loop is, I hate my job. Heavy, draining, victim mentality.
On there.
We all have. Flip it to, I'm grateful to my job for being a stepping stone to awesomeness.
Oh, that's good. Stepping stone to awesomeness. It changes the energy completely. You go from victim to architect of your future.
Exactly. And this extends to your daily vocabulary. She calls it high vibe vocabulary. We need to be ruthless and eliminate words like, I want, I should, and especially, I'm trying.
I'm trying is the worst. Yoda was right about that one. I'm trying is like planning to fail before you even start.
It is. It implies struggle and likely defeat. It has failure baked into it. Replace them with, I choose, I can, I create, I rock.
Give me an example of how that changes things.
Okay, saying I have to go to work feels like a prison sentence. But saying I choose to go to work is very different, isn't it?
Yeah. One is power and one is powerlessness.
Exactly. It puts the power back in your hands, even if the circumstance is the same.
Okay, so we've got the foundations. We're painting our canvas. We're tapping into baby confidence. We're flipping our complaints. But let's be real. We step out the door feeling all high vibe, and then obstacles.
Reality.
Reality hits. And Sincero has a name for the part of us that freaks out over obstacles. She calls it the phobe.
The phobe. This is such a funny and relatable story, but it cuts deep. She talks about a friend of hers she nicknames the phobe. This guy was obsessed with the idea that space debris was going to fall out of the sky and hit Earth.
Space debris, you mean like old satellites?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Space junk. He would check NASA websites and just fixate on it. And not just that, he had a thing about eyebrows.
Eyebrows. What about eyebrows?
He wouldn't eat in restaurants because he was terrified that a stranger's eyebrow might have fallen into the food.
That is a very specific and vivid fear. I can't say I've ever worried about that one.
Me neither. And Sincero and her friends would laugh about it. It became a running joke, but the lesson she draws from this is profound.
What's the takeaway?
She says, we all have an inner phobe. To us, our fears like, I'm going to die alone, or if I launch this product, everyone will laugh at me,
Yeah.
feel incredibly real and dangerous.
They feel like life and death.
Totally.
Yeah.
But to an outsider, they look just as ridiculous as the fear of space debris or a rogue eyebrow in your pasta.
Wow. That's a great perspective check. Because when my friend is worried about asking for a promotion, I'm like, just do it. It's no big deal. What's the worst that can happen?
Right.
But when I have to do it, I feel like the sky is falling.
Exactly. The phobe is that part of your brain, the amygdala, that treats social risk the same way it treats mortal danger. It can't tell the difference between public speaking and being eaten by a lion.
So it's just firing off these ancient warning signals for modern problems.
That's all it is. And Sincero says worrying is essentially praying for what you don't want.
I love that line. Praying for what you don't want. It's so true. You're just marinating in the negative outcome.
She uses this vivid image. Worrying is like hitting yourself in the head with a rock every morning just to prepare for the possibility that a rock might fall from the sky and hit you later.
Ouch. Yeah. We are pre-punishing ourselves.
And usually the rock never falls. So you just have a headache for no reason. You wasted all that energy preparing for a disaster that never happened.
But let's play devil's advocate here for a second. Sometimes there are real obstacles. It's not just phobe fears. Sometimes I literally don't have the money or I don't have the time. Sincero calls these excuses fake news, but they feel pretty real when you're broke.
And she acknowledges that. She's not saying the obstacle isn't physically there.
Yeah.
The empty bank account is real. The packed schedule is real.
So what is she saying?
She's saying the power you give it is a choice. She presents a binary option here that is really confronting. It's tough love time.
Okay, lay it on us.
She says, if you are serious about changing your life, you will find a way. If you are only kind of sort of serious, you will find an excuse.
Oof, that is aggressive. It stings a little.
It does. But look at it this way. If your life depended on it, literally, a gun to your head, could you find the time? Could you find the money? Usually the answer is yes.
Yeah, you'd figure it out.
You'd figure it out. So it's not a capability issue.
Yeah.
It's a priority issue. An excuse is simply a challenge that you have decided has power over you.
Right. It's the difference between I can't and I won't.
Exactly. And often these excuses come from a deep feeling of being flawed. We think we aren't perfect enough to succeed.
I'm not ready yet.
The not ready yet syndrome. I'll start the business when I'm more organized, or I'll start dating when I lose 10 pounds. This brings us to the cracked pot parable, which is a beautiful counter-argument to perfectionism.
Oh, I love this story. Tell the story of the water bearer. This one really stuck with me.
So a water bearer in India has two large pots, each hung on the ends of a pole which she carries across her neck.
Okay.
One of the pots had a crack in it.
Yeah.
And while the other pot was perfect and always delivered a full portion of water at the end of the long walk from the stream, the cracked pot arrived only half full.
And this goes on for a long time, right?
For 2 years, this goes on daily. And the perfect pot is, very proud of its accomplishments.
Of course.
But the cracked pot is ashamed. It's miserable. It feels like a failure because it can only do half the job it was made to do.
It's living in comparison.
Absolutely. Finally, it can't take it anymore, and it speaks to the water bearer and apologizes. It says, "I'm so sorry I'm broken."
The classic "I'm not good enough" narrative. We all know that voice.
Yes, but the water bearer smiles and says, "Did you notice that there were flowers only on your side of the path, but not on the other pot's side?"
Where is she going with this?
She says, "That's because I have always known about your flaw. So I planted flower seeds on your side of the path, and every day how we walk back, you water them. For 2 years, I have been able to pick these beautiful flowers to decorate the table. Without you being just the way you are, there would not be this beauty to grace the house."
Wow. That's really touching. It's a total reframe.
It's a complete reframe. The takeaway is that your flaws, your cracks, can be the source of beauty and uniqueness. Perfection isn't the only way to be useful. Sometimes your vulnerability, your chaotic energy, or your unique struggle is exactly what creates value.
I love that. We don't need to patch the cracks. We need to appreciate the flowers.
Okay, so we handled the obstacles, we've silenced the phobe, we've called out the fake news. Now let's get into the actual workout. Part 3. The workout routine. What are the practical tools?
Sincero emphasizes meditation and breathing repeatedly. And I know I can hear the listeners groaning right now. Meditate. Again.
I admit I'm one of the groaners. I try to sit still and my brain just starts making grocery lists and replaying awkward conversations from 2007.
And that's totally common. But Sincero isn't asking for an hour of Zen silence on a cushion. She has some really quick, visualization-based techniques designed for the restless mind.
Okay, give us the cheat codes for meditation. I need those.
First up, she has the smell the rose technique.
Smell the rose. It's a visualization where you imagine holding a beautiful, fragrant rose. You inhale slowly, imagining the scent, but, and here's the trick, you pull that breath all the way down through your body to your feet.
Okay, so you're not just breathing into your chest.
No, you're giving your mind a job to do. Follow the breath.
Yeah.
Feel it go down your throat, past your heart, into your belly, down your legs, all the way to your toes.
It gives the mind something to do. That's the key.
Exactly. It forces you to deepen the breath, which engages the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode, instantly. It's a physical hack to lower cortisol.
And there's the tight fist exercise too, right? This one is for when you're stressed out of your mind.
Yes, this is for immediate stress release.
Yeah.
Imagine your brain is a tight, clenched fist, just all knotted up.
Easy to imagine some days.
Right. Now, I want you to physically tense every single muscle in your body. Clench your jaw, squint your face, raise your shoulders, make fists, squeeze your butt, curl your toes. Squeeze everything as hard as you can.
Okay, I'm doing it now. It feels ridiculous.
Hold it. Hold it for 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And then release. Let it all go.
Ah, okay, there's a definite whoosh of something.
Yes. And imagine that brain fist opening up at the same time. The physical contrast between extreme tension and release floods the body with a feeling of flow. It's like a system reboot. You can't remain tight after doing that.
She also talks about visualization, but she adds a specific twist called acting as if. This felt different from just daydreaming.
It's crucial. A lot of people think visualization is just daydreaming. Oh, would it be nice to be rich? Sincero says no. That's passive.
So what's the active version?
She suggests a time travel exercise.
Yeah.
You close your eyes, you visualize your new life in vivid detail, you smell the leather of the new car, you feel the handshake of the deal, you hear the applause. But then, and this is the key, you open your eyes and walk through your current day as if you are already that person.
So if I want to be a successful author, I don't just dream about it. I make my coffee like a successful author makes coffee. I walk to the mailbox with the posture of a successful author.
Exactly. How would a best-selling author answer that email? How would a 7-figure business owner handle that difficult client? You adopt the posture, the attitude, the pace now. You don't wait for the external reality to change your internal state.
You change the internal state to invite the reality.
You got it. And she adds a physical anchoring technique to make this even more powerful.
With somatic marker.
Right. So when you're in that visualization and you feel that joy or excitement, that totalizing, I want you to notice where it is in your body. Is it a warmth in your chest, a tingling in your gut, a lightness in your head?
Okay, let's say I feel it in my solar plexus.
A little buzz right there.
Perfect. Then, throughout the day, when you feel doubt creeping in, physically touch that spot, just a light touch on your solar plexus.
And what does that do?
It triggers the muscle memory of that emotion. It brings the future into the present moment. It's like setting a bookmark in your nervous system.
That is a great hack. It's like a button you can press to get back to the high. Speaking of bringing things into the present, let's talk about intentions. Intentions are the way we break the day into bite-sized pieces. Most of us just try to survive the day. We are reactive.
We're just dodging bullets all day.
We are. Sincero wants us to be proactive. She suggests setting micro-intentions for everything.
She gives examples like, I intend to enjoy paying my bills today, which sounds insane. Who enjoys paying bills?
It sounds masochistic. But think about the alternative. The alternative is you pay the bills while feeling resentful and scared and contracted. That drains your energy.
Right.
If you set the intention to enjoy it, to focus on gratitude that you have the electricity, that you have the heating, you change the experience. You flip the script from I'm losing money to I am grateful I have the resources to pay for this service.
It's another reframe. She also talks about before moment intentions. I've started trying this, and it's actually really hard to remember to do, but it changes everything when I do.
This is mindfulness in action. This is the definition of it. Before you walk into a party, stop at the door. Set an intention. I intend to look at my phone 0 times and be fully present.
Or before you eat a sandwich.
Yes. I intend to savor every bite. It stops the autopilot. It forces you to actually live the moment instead of just getting through it, which is what most of us do.
And stopping autopilot's the best way to handle procrastination, which takes us to part 4. Taking action and managing energy. Sincero has an acronym here that blew my mind. Now never overwhelmed.
It's brilliant, isn't it? So simple.
Yeah. Unpack that for us. How does that work?
Okay, the concept is that overwhelm only exists when you project into the future. It's a fantasy.
It's not real. It feels very real.
The feeling is real, but the cause isn't. Okay, you imagine you have to write a book. You look at the task, write book. You see 300 pages, months of work, editing, publishing. You freeze. That is overwhelm.
Right. It feels like an impossible mountain.
But that is the future. In that now, in this exact second, what can you do? You can type one sentence. Can you type one sentence without passing out?
Yes. One sentence is easy. I can do that.
Exactly. That singular action is never overwhelming. Overwhelm is a mental error where we try to live next month and today at the same time. If you stay in the NOW, overwhelm is impossible.
Never overwhelmed. I like that. And to help with that, she uses the small chunks rule.
This is the antidote to burnout. She uses the example of writing. If you're writing a book, don't try to write a chapter. Don't even try to write a page. Sit down and write one paragraph.
Just one. That's the only goal.
Just one. If you do more, great. That's a bonus. But the goal is one. Motivation is a muscle. If you try to lift 500 pounds on your first day at the gym, you get injured, aka burnout, and you quit.
You never go back.
You never go back. Small chunks build muscle safely. You create a dopamine loop. I did the thing. I feel good. Maybe I'll do a little more.
Now, sometimes the issue isn't mental, it's physical energy. We're just tired. And Sincero gives a directive that seems so basic, but she is adamant about it. Hydration.
Drink twice as much water as usual. It sounds like nagging from your doctor, but her logic is sound. Transforming your life takes energy. You are physically rewiring your brain. New neural pathways require resources.
Water is the fuel.
It's the lubricant for the whole machine. You can't be a badass if you're dehydrated, foggy, and have a headache.
It's hard to manifest your dreams when you're hungover or parched.
Exactly. Treat your body like the high-performance vehicle it is. And if water doesn't work to clear the energy, there's always screaming therapy.
This is my favorite practical tool in the whole book. It's so visceral and a little bit unhinged.
It is. And sometimes that's what you need, she says. Go to your car, roll up the windows, and scream for 3 minutes. Or use the biggest and most stifling pillow in the world.
Why does this work? Is it just venting, or is there something more to it?
It's somatic release. We hold tension, anger, frustration, fear in our bodies, in our jaws, our chests, our diaphragms. Sometimes you can't think your way out of stress. You can't affirm your way out of rage.
You have to get it out physically.
You have to acoustically vent it. You have to let the animal out for a minute so the human can get back to work.
I feel like we should all do that right now. Just pause the deep dive and scream. But first, we have to talk about Scruffy.
Ah, Scruffy. This is one of the funniest stories in the book, but it's a masterclass in questioning our beliefs.
Okay, set it up. Tell us about Scruffy.
So, when Sincero was a kid, she had this stuffed animal named Scruffy. It was ratty, missing an eye, stuffing coming out, a total mess.
The classic well-loved toy.
Exactly. She loved it. And she named it Scruffy after her neighbor's dog, which was a terrier, because to her, it looked just like the dog.
So in her mind, for years, Scruffy is a dog.
100% a dog, no question.
Yeah.
It has been a dog for her entire childhood. Years go by, she's an adult, she's bored in a parking lot, staring at Scruffy in the backseat of her car, and she really looks at him for the first time in years, and she realizes Scruffy has pointy ears. Scruffy has a long, skinny tail. Scruffy has whiskers. Scruffy is a cat.
No, her whole life was a lie.
It was. But here is the insight, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Why did she think it was a dog? Because her neighbor had a dog that looked like it. She engaged in pattern matching, she accepted a truth based on a flimsy association, and never investigated again.
And we do this with our beliefs about ourselves all the time.
All the time. She asks, what are the Scruffy beliefs in your life?
Yeah.
Do you believe I'm bad at math just because you failed one test in 4th grade? Do you believe I'm not creative because one art teacher criticized your drawing when you were 7?
Wow.
You're accepting these things as dogs, but if you look closer, if you really investigated them, they might be cats.
We need to audit our beliefs. We need to check if our dogs are actually cats. That's such a good way to put it. Okay, moving on to part 5. We've done the inner work, but we don't live in a vacuum. What about other people, relationships, and external environment?
This is huge. You can't be high vibe if you're swimming in a toxic swamp. Environment wins. Sincero is pretty ruthless here regarding toxic people.
What's her advice?
Delete them. Or minimize access.
Cut them out.
If you can, yes. She has a quote that's so powerful. 2 minutes of pain for a lifetime of freedom.
The breakup conversation.
The breakup conversation, or the I quit conversation, or the I can't be friends with you anymore conversation. It hurts for 2 minutes, it's awkward, your heart races, but then you are free.
But what about the people you can't delete? Your boss, your mother-in-law, you're stuck with some people.
For them, she offers the compassion hack, or as I like to call it, the pancake defense.
The pancake hat. This is so funny.
The pancake hat. If someone is being aggressive, condescending, or toxic towards you, imagine them wearing a pancake as a hat.
A big, fluffy pancake.
Maybe with a little pat of butter sliding down the side and some syrup dripping.
It's so silly. How does that help?
It works. It's impossible to take someone's ego aggression seriously when you are visualizing a flapjack on their head. It creates immediate emotional distance. It prevents you from getting triggered.
You stop seeing them as a threat.
You stop reacting to their anger and start reacting to the absurdity of the situation. You might even crack a smile internally, which completely changes your energy.
I am definitely using that at the next family reunion. But it's not just about defense, is it? It's about offense, too. Spreading high vibes.
Yes. Badassery is reciprocal. You have to generate the energy you want to see. She tells a story about a friend who goes to a brewery and buys anonymous beers for people.
I love this idea. It's so simple.
The friend buys beers for strangers, but especially for difficult customers. If someone is being a jerk to the bartender or just looks grumpy and miserable,
She buys them a beer.
she buys them a beer anonymously, tells the bartender, put their next one on my tab.
That is next level. Most people would just get annoyed buying a beer for the jerk.
But think about what it does. It clears the energy. Instead of stewing in anger, look at that guy. What a jerk. You do a random act of kindness. It confuses them, it delights them, and most importantly, it lifts your vibe. It proves to you that you have the power to change the atmosphere of a room.
And speaking of atmosphere, she talks about travel perfume. What is that about?
This answers the question, why do we feel more alive on vacation?
Because we aren't at work, and there are cocktails involved.
Well, yes, that helps, but also because we are paying attention. On vacation, everything is new. The architecture, the food, the smells, the sounds. Our reticular activating system is wide open. We are present.
And at home?
At home, we're on autopilot. We stop seeing the beauty of our own street because it's familiar.
So the exercise is to wear travel perfume in your hometown.
Right. Treat your Tuesday like you're a tourist in your own life.
Mm.
Take a different route to work. Go to a coffee shop you've never been to. Talk to a stranger. Wear a hat you usually wouldn't wear.
Shake off the autopilot.
Exactly. It wakes your brain up and reconnects you to the magic of the world,
Yeah.
which is always there, even in your hometown. We just stop seeing it.
I love that. It's about romanticizing your own life. Now, as we move into the final part, part 6, let's talk about maintenance. Because the goal isn't just to have these moments, it's to keep them.
This is the aha maintenance plan. Sincero makes a great point. An epiphany is great, but an aha permanent way of life is better.
So how do you make it permanent?
She says when you have an insight like realizing Scruffy is a cat, you have to massage it into your brain.
Massage it into your brain. I like that image.
You have to. Write it down, create a mantra out of it, tell a friend, repeat it. If you don't, it will fly away. Short-term memory is fleeting.
It's so true. We've all had those late night thoughts of, I finally understand the universe, and then the next morning we can't even remember what it was.
Gone. You have to capture it, anchor it, integrate it.
And as you capture these changes, you eventually reach what she calls new normals.
This is the ultimate goal of the spiritual gym, acclimation. She talks about a friend who dated, and she counted 4,910 guys.
4,910. That is a lot of coffee dates. That is a logistical nightmare.
It is a full-time job for years. She struggled for so long to find a partner. But finally she got married. And now, being married is just her normal. She forgets the struggle. She takes it for granted. Sincero says we often forget how far we've come because of hedonic adaptation. We get used to the good stuff really fast.
We take our progress for granted. The new amazing thing becomes the new baseline.
We do. So the exercise is to list your new normals. What are the things in your life right now? Maybe it's your car, your job, the fact that you exercise, the fact that you're sober. That used to be impossible dreams.
That is so important. Because we're always looking at the mountain ahead, we forget to look at the mountain we just climbed.
Exactly. Acknowledging your new normals builds the confidence that you can create the next new normal. It proves you are capable of transformation because you have already done it over and over.
So bringing this all together for everyone listening, we've been to the spiritual gym, we've lifted the weights of affirmations, we've done the cardio of screaming in our cars.
And we've stretched our perspective with pancakes on heads.
We have. And if there's one summary takeaway, what would it be?
It is this. You have to do the reps. Success isn't magic, it's maintenance. It's gratitude, silence, action, every single day. There are no days off at the spiritual gym.
Sincero has a great quote about risk that I think sums up the attitude we need to take away from this.
She says, there is no riskier risk than refusing to risk it all.
Say that again.
There is no riskier risk than refusing to risk it all. Staying in the comfort zone is the most dangerous place you can be because you risk missing your entire life.
So here is our final challenge to you, the listener. We don't want you to just nod along and then get a deep dive hangover.
Please, no. Let's not have that.
Pick one exercise we talked about today. Just one. Don't try to do them all.
Don't get overwhelmed.
Right. Maybe it's the turn it inside out complaint flip. Maybe it's visualizing the pancake hat on your boss tomorrow. Maybe it's writing one paragraph of that book.
Or maybe it's just buying an anonymous coffee for a stranger. Just do one rep today. Start the workout.
Exactly. As Jen Sincero says, you are a badass. You are universal energy. You are love.
Who get it?
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll see you in the gym.